was obtained. The Jordanian engineer then produced a bunch of keys and proceeded to open the two chests inside. Inside there were literally hundreds of thin cardboard sheets, each holding attached by adhesive tape a dozen or so fragments of ancient parchment and or papyrus. The fragments obviously spanned a considerable period of time, derived from a number of diverse sources, and had been inscribed in several different languages. Aramaic, for example, Hebrew, Greek, and Arabic, as might be expected of so eclectic and haphazard on assemblage. Not everything was of value. Many of the fragments proved subsequently to be worthless. Receipts and documents pertaining to ancient commercial transactions that might have been ferreted out of some archaic rubbish tip. But there were others as well. The collection had come to London through the clandestine scroll market active in Jerusalem and Bethlehem during the 1950s and 1960s, and had been brought out of Israel during or shortly after the 1967 war. It was now supposedly being offered for sale to a certain unnamed European government for an alleged price of £3 million. Begert was asked to make a selection of photographs to be displayed as samples of what was available. He took approximately 100 photographs, but there were hundreds of sheets and altogether upwards of 2,000 fragments, most of them relatively large. In the dozen or so years since this incident, we have heard nothing further about the collection. If a sale was indeed negotiated, it was done so quickly with no public announcement of any kind. Alternatively, the entire collection may still be sequestered in its London bank or in some other similar depository elsewhere, or amongst the treasures of some private dealer. Transactions such as the one to which we had been peripherally privy were not, we subsequently learned, at all uncommon. During the course of the next decade, our research was to bring us into contact with an intricate network of antique dealers and collectors engaged in subterranean scroll traffic. This network is international and deals on a scale comparable to that of networks trafficking in paintings or gems. Hundreds of thousands of pounds can be produced on virtually immediate notice and be transferred on the basis of a handshake. Two factors have conducted to the dissemination of the underground scroll market. One was the action of Yadin and the Israeli military in the immediate aftermath of the 1967 war, when the dealer, known as Kando, was held for interrogation and forced to divulge the existence of the temple scroll. But not surprisingly, this action upset the existing truce and fostered a profound mistrust between Israeli and